this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Monday the 7th of June. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, it's been a bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall back through the pivot at 35,824. Take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 36,431. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from this morning's high, 36,055.9. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level. And yesterday's high sitting at 36,475 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you could see Bitcoin target 38,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 37,081. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level of 35,174 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 34,000 levels. Second major support level of 34,567 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a bullish cross at the turn of the day, coming off the back of the recovery late yesterday and the bullish start to the day. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has pulled further back from the 100 and the 200, which is a bearish indicator. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 35,824, break back through this morning's high, 36,055.9, to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play. Moving across Ethereum against US dollar, bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall back through the 38.2% fib at 2740 and through the pivot at 2690 to support a continued run at the first major resistance level at 2766. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from this morning's high, 2749. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target 3,000 levels before any pullback. Got the second major resistance level at 2821 and the third major resistance level at 2951. A fallback through the 38.2% fib and through the pivot at 2690 would bring the first major support level at 2636 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 2500 levels. Second major support level at 2560 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, bullish cross at the turn of the day, coming off the back of yesterday's late recovery and bullish start to the day. That's supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, also a bullish indicator with the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200, signaling further upside ahead. So key, avoid a fallback through the 38.2% fib at 2740 and avoid the pivot at 2690 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, also bullish start. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 176 to take a run at the first major resistance level 180. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 180s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 180.06 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin test resistance at 190 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 184. Fall through the pivot, we're bringing the 62% fib at 174 and the first major support level at 172 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 165s. Second major support level at 168 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, bullish cross at the turn of the day, coming off the back of yesterday's late rebound and bullish start to the day. So keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, 50 has narrowed the gap marginally on the 100 and the 200. Still bearish, but narrowing the gap through the morning would continue to support further upside. So key, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 176 and break back through this morning's high 178.59 to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, particularly bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the first major resistance level at 0.9575 and break back through the second major resistance level at 0.9690 to bring the third major resistance level at 1.00 into play. Going to need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from this morning's high. It was at 0.97475. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect resistance at 0.98 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, that third major resistance level will come into play. A fallback through the major resistance levels and through the pivot at 0.9378 would bring the first major support level at 0.9264 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 0.90 levels. Second major support level 0.9067 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, marked widening of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, coming off the back of this bullish end to yesterday and bullish start to the day this morning. On the EMAs, 50s narrowed the gap on the 100 and the 200, but still a bearish indicator, so need to keep an eye on that. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the major resistance levels, break through the morning high 97475 to bring that third major resistance level into play. Fallback through that first major resistance level and through the pivot will bring support levels into play.